All right. Hey, everybody. This is John Myers and Michael Pierce. We're with Boulder Creek Investments, and we are here for a monthly update to talk about the market, what we have going on with the merging. If you guys haven't heard, the new group's called KC Multifamily Capital. We kind of just obviously merged the names together and made it pretty simple. The goal of this new group is obviously to condense the efforts of the organizers of the groups into one group on Facebook, and this way we could come together and not waste time, almost talking about the same stuff, going to multiple meetings. So this will be nice to post all the things in one. We all know each other anyway, so it'd be nice to come together. We will increase frequency. We're trying to do a weekly meetup. Hopefully in the future, we throw in like a morning or a noon lunch type mastermind group meeting for the people that can't make the Wednesdays at 6 p.m. we're doing now for our sessions. So again, check up on that. We can go a little bit more into it. Did you have anything to add, Michael, just before we maybe get into some of the details of our new focus here?
Yeah, so on the article that I guess the viewers will see, we'll post the link, or we'll have the link available, so you can search us up on Facebook. It's just Kansas City Multifamily Capital, and there's going to be at least 1,000 followers, so that's the one that we're running.
Yeah. So if you're part of the KC Capital Group, they're a little bit hard to distinguish right now. Join the KC Multifamily Capital Group with Angel Hagen that ran it before, because we're going to close down the KC Capital Group here in a month or two, so we can again focus efforts and get everything posted into one section. So look, what we're looking to do with this new group is essentially it's the same, local mastermind that we had for KC Capital Group. We're going to be focused on active and passive income investing like we did before, but with a concentration of investing in commercial multifamily properties / business. And that could be anything from multifamily apartment complexes, self-storage, mobile home parks, things of that nature. Anything that is scalable and you are able to get into with a scalable and passive mindset, because as we all know, you can only grow so big by doing your own deals, especially if they're smaller. So we're going to encourage partnerships, of course. Obviously, it's a journey where we're all going to be able to learn about how we currently run our apartment complexes, and what all the types of education and things we did through the past. It's a benefit for everyone to follow along, whether you're doing your own deals or not, or partnering. Again, it's an educational thing, and obviously, hopefully, we could create a possible future partnership as we learn. We're going to run the series as an open discussion. We'll obviously have topics we talk about at the beginning of the meeting. Maybe it might run 15 to 20 plus minutes. As we run through the topics, discussion all around is encouraged, so no one has to feel like necessarily it's us doing a topic all the time. It's going to be an experience where people can share their own views, because there's people that have a lot more experience than us that have bigger properties they're managing now. So we're all open to obviously taking a piece from them, because they've been successful in their own path. So we like to encourage that. The more bigger, smarter people we have, it's just going to be better for the group, and that's for anything in life. Some of the things we'll obviously talk about that could even come down to smaller deals, deal search criteria, letter of intents, insurance quotes, purchase and sales contracts, due diligence, lender term sheets, selection, insurance structuring. We have closing tasks that we've done, transitioning to the new investment, property management, choosing and the management thereafter, general operations, distributions to investors, refinancing, future sale, 1031. So those are a handful of things, and obviously those can each be broken down to multiple and lengthy discussions. So, but again, it's all needed, and underwriting is, I think, number one thing. Obviously, aside from doing your due diligence and location, things like that. But so that's going to be the new focus of the KC Multifamily Capital Group, and we hope that everyone benefits from it, because we don't want to end up being another multifamily group where, it's just general, maybe unfocused networking. There's a lot of groups out there, and we're not necessarily saying that's bad. You need a piece of that for everything, but we know at least every time we get done with a meeting, you should have at least one specific piece of information you could use for your own deals or future deals. You have anything to add on to that, Michael? I know Michael's going to be helping us a lot with managing the group, making these newsletters, monthly newsletters, helping with these videos. So we're going to learn from him. Maybe you could tell the people a little bit about your own YouTube series that you have, because you're on a journey too for financially growing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been kind of doing YouTube for a little bit. I know, not like super famous or anything, but I mean, yeah. I'm like, you kind of have to learn like the algorithm of how to get traction, and that's the same models, or we're going to try to apply to the KC Multifamily, like this group. But yeah, so growing the channel, which is cool, and kind of sharing my own information, knowledge, and I guess my viewpoint of doing apartment syndications, because in the past I did primarily single family, and then I've known John for a bit now, so kind of just hearing him talk, and then go over the pros and cons of why you might want to group up. And so I kind of took that route. It makes a lot more sense. So happy to do it. But I guess to go a little bit further on the group direction, each session that we do, we're going to have a focus, like what John said, like the letter of 10 might be one meeting on a Wednesday, and another meeting could be like your closing. What would you do to close on a apartment deal? But all of those meetings will, if they're online or whatnot, or even in person, we'll try to record it and post it on the Boulder Creek website and the YouTube, so you can check it out. We'll try to write an article for each one, so you can read about it also. But yeah, at the end of the day, though, with all this information that we're providing, it's to actually, like as we said previously, it's to do a deal, to be focused and just like pool money together and our skill sets together. So that's what I want from this group, and I hope that's what the everyone out there wants as well, just to do deals together, be profitable, grow our relationships and our business, and basically prosper with that mindset.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely all about partnering up. Like, we know everyone that's significantly successful, wealthy, they're not doing it alone. Infinite more benefits to sharing the pie and growing that way. The caveat is obviously just you grow that pie and make it a win-win for everybody, versus taking an endeavor that's small where you're enclosed in your own bubble. So
Right.
Definitely it's a journey that you would benefit more with a group of knowledgeable friends that you'll have all the way until the end days. So let's get into, since we talked about the merging, what we're generally going to do, our meetups. Little bit of this is a little bit fluid because of the pandemic stuff, but we'll gradually get back onto hopefully a face-to-face level, and we can network there. But let's get into our first monthly group newsletter. Michael, you wrote, you're giving your perspective from an investor that came from residential and, your journey getting into the commercial syndication space. So let's walk through your article and some of the things to point out. And this is only a fraction of the things that we could write about, but we'll start with this.
Okay. Yeah, so when we started off just writing this article, I wanted to talk about like why would you want to do, or like what would make you curious to do apartment investing. I like to think things very like years out in advance. So I was doing like single family investments, and I was just trying to think like, okay, I would have, I could have like 50 single family homes, but there's a lot of management things that come along with that because it's at different locations. So like looking ahead and just saying, okay, what if I can just bypass this entire phase and then go to something that's more scalable and easier to manage, and it's all at maybe at one spot or two spots versus 50 different spots. That just kind of makes more sense. So we're going with the article that that was made. We kind of talk about why it might be maybe simpler or easier to manage having an apartment complex. You might have only one property manager for 100 doors. If you have a single family home, you might be in one city, or maybe you're in different areas, and you have to utilize different PMs, and that's going to put a toll on your business because you have to operate with more people in mind. So just makes sense to have, if you can centralize your business, that's really the way to go, or at least in our view.
Yeah, and people have to understand that we're not only buying essentially like a bigger building, and you're still going to use small property tactics to manage it. When you look at a commercial size apartment complex, that's going to take a professional management company to run. It's going to take, it has multiple investors to invest in it. You're going to have to get bridge lending or agency debt on it. It's a whole new game. Since you're buying an income stream of a business has an in-place system, you're not there every day doing the maintenance. You're not there doing the leasing. You're kind of managing all that, setting those expectations for a budget so you make the returns you need to. But again, it's the step into being scalable and being increasing your passive income. Because like we all know, we only have a finite amount of hours in the day, and you can't be everything or do everything without a team.
Right. And what's nice is like you might own a single family home, and you might have to manage the property managers, and you do that for every single house. Cool thing is you have an apartment syndication, you have a smaller group of just general partners that will do the high level management for you. So if you're a passive investor, you simply just have to provide investment income or money to close on the deal, and you basically get a benefit from everything else that's happening from the general partners, which is a huge plus. So if you have like extra money but you don't want to manage it or worry about it, you can have like professional general partners doing the work essentially for you, and then you just can wait for the profit that comes through that business plan, which is nice as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So so I guess if we can go into maybe why would you want to do apartments, something that we already mentioned, scalability. You can go why own one door at 20% down or whatever, and you can own 100 doors and you spread out basically your risk. What's nice again about apartments is that if there's one vacancy, that's not 100% vacancy. That's only one door out of your total count. If your single family home is out, then you're really not making money at all. So that's huge turnover loss. You might not even want to raise rent on a single family home because you might be concerned of a 1 month of loss won't even be worth raising your rent $25. So that's not worth the risk. It might not be worth the risk for a single family home to do that. Another thing too is that you have a lot of power in numbers. So if you apply one business strategy that is really good, let's say you're able to lower the cost of lawn care. Now you can apply that to 50 plus units. And instead of having to do that one at a time for every single family home, hoping that lawn care strategy is applicable in all the areas of your houses. So you get to scale extremely easy because of that, because it's a very obvious and easy thing to do. And other things too, like you can lower your water costs. Maybe you change out the boilers, have the tenants pay for split water bills. They share the same roof. Like there's just so many benefits of having things under one massive building if you can, which is nice. And then another thing to add is that when you're doing single family homes, you kind of have to be good relatively at everything. You might have to be good at cold calling. You might have to be good at negotiating the deal and then maintaining the property. If you're in an apartment syndication, you could literally just be good at one thing. You might be only good at cold calling, and that you can still be successful with that. And then someone else could be looking at the numbers and you don't know anything about numbers. So you get to team up and really just focus on your skill set and help the team grow, which is a great benefit of actually working together. So
Yeah, that makes sense. As far as scalability, that stuff's like common sense. Obviously,
yeah,
you have that much more area to cover if you have, 50 houses versus 50 units under one roof. I mean, usually everything's more expensive going that way. One benefit you do have, at least, is probably most of your tenants have the utilities in their own name.
yeah.
But, with the utility bill back system, that's outweighed. And you still got stuff that from management to, I'm sure insurance and everything like that, that would outweigh still having, one building. So that is correct. And obviously the vacancy is a big deal. And it's,
Right.
and then what was the last thing you mentioned again? Team members, right?
Yep.
Was that team members? Yeah. That's a huge thing too, because we all know we're not good at everything. And if you want the most out of a certain area of expertise, why would you risk yourself being mediocre at underwriting, at construction, at investor relations? Or do you want to find that team member that's 100% at it? You want obviously the best guy, kind of like you always want to, you never want to be the smartest guy in the room, because then you're not achieving past then that means you're going to achieve to the highest level beyond your own capacity. So there's definitely a benefit to having teammates that can rise to that level, and hopefully you're picking the best people in that expertise to take advantage.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope and encourage that you would know your people, your general partners pretty well and trust them, because they're going to be the ones running primarily the entire motion.
And one big thing too, when we say passive in partnership, as you know, people get injured, sick, whatnot. It's very nice to have a couple other guys take on a task.
Yes.
Or step in, and that's huge, because everybody needs a vacation, everybody needs some downtime, stuff like that. So it is really nice to share that load.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you get to invest with people that you trust, and you're going to be with them in a relationship with that deal for a while. So you'll hopefully become friends, or if not friends already, when you go into those deals together, and then you get to just, look back and say, oh yeah, we did that awesome apartment deal together, and we made, a good amount of money, and here we are again doing another one. It's like that
Right.
feeling of just going back again as a team is awesome.
Yeah, the collective mindset power of 10 similar mindsets like yourself that's just a multiple of the capabilities you could have running that business. There's been times where people come up with ideas that you would have never thought of just because it's a totally different brain. So that power in itself is really rewarding when you can take advantage of it. And again, as mentioned, people at the end of the day, it's about what's the return, what shows up at your bank account at the end of the day, and correlating that to a certain risk appetite. So I would argue it's far less riskier with more benefits. The caveat there is obviously you need to come up with a lot of cash, and obviously you need to have a team that's knowledgeable in running this type of business. But again, there's a lot of different roles in there, and having people tiered to a certain role is going to make it much more doable versus expecting one guy to manage a large system.
Right. Yeah, and like I would, if anyone's doing a farm syndication, I would encourage you to, definitely ensure the credibility of the people that run the deal. And what's cool about, especially the group that we're in and a part of, is that we show our faces, weekly, and then when the pandemic whatever goes away, then you can meet us in real life. So it's not even like you'll get to know us at a personal level. So it won't be like sketchy where you're just investing online. Like you'll get to know us for real. So I think that's incredibly valuable. Maybe we'll do like even just like some of the stuff we do just for social events, and you get to know us a little bit more outside of real estate, which helps build trust and credibility.
Right.
And we get to know everyone else better as well. So
And that's why
that's what we want.
And that's why we'll try, the weekly Zoom meetings for now, and then we'll throw in some meetups at least once or twice a month for sure.
Yeah.
Kansas City is a fairly close investor culture anyway. I sure you would agree that everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty tight knit.
Yeah. So what's next on your boat list here?
The article?
Yes.
I mean, we talked about combining skill sets and then basically closing it with like, oh, it's a journey, we don't want you to miss, come join our group, check us out, maybe even reach out to us and we can have, a conversation.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, you've covered some good points. And on the next article too, like I said, there's an infinite amount of stuff. If anyone wants to check out a little bit more how just investing in the capacity of larger apartment investments, definitely check out bouldercreekinvestments.com. There's a couple tabs up there, especially the Learn tab, where you can go down and look at terms and the benefits and how the process works for the passive side or the general partner side, which is the active side. And obviously you could go there to see the articles that we've written, and Michael should be there also. We'll also put up media. We'll post like Michael said, the weekly media YouTube chats that we have, including these summaries, and probably some other random videos with some real estate professionals too.
Right. Yeah.
Another thing we want to add too is from time to time, we also are doing the Mary podcast.
Yep.
And that group has probably 10,000 plus members there. Kim Tucker runs it. Definitely join the Mary group. I believe it's mary.org, MEMAREI.org. for membership there. Kim is running that stuff like clockwork, and she's constantly posting stuff. She's probably the queen of meetups in real estate groups. So they have a lot of value there for sure. So definitely check out the Mary group. They're knowledge you, and they're quite broadly focused of everything. So
I'd say also definitely check out when we're talking about my YouTube channel. I'd say check it out if you want to see some stuff. It's called like Growth Mindset. Some of the stuff I post is about apartment syndication as well. I think in a video I posted 2 weeks ago was a couple links with the big dogs doing deals, like Michael Blank and Joe Ferris, those type of guys. So there's links in those videos with free content as well. So I encourage you to check it out. That's Growth Mindset. To search on, you have to search on the channel. It's still growing, so not like the biggest, but maybe one day.
You're gonna have to scroll a little bit.
Yeah, I've had to pay YouTube like $1 million to be found. So maybe after a couple deals.
And then on Facebook for the group, KC Multifamily Capital. You should see it on there. You should see the logo.
Yep.
And request to join, and we'll get you approved. Again, we thank everyone for joining us. If you want to chat with any of us, look us up on Facebook. My name's John Wires, Michael Pierce here, and I think we're good to go. Are we good?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.